You know, the truth is not everybody thinks alike. And if you're really leaning into AI right now, it probably has become apparent to you that the way that you see the world is different than those people around you. It's my personal belief that the people who benefit the most from AI are those divergent thinkers, the nonconformists of us out there that see the world differently, can see disconnected phenomenon and draw a line between these different things to come up with new innovative solutions. I'm talking about the Steve Jobs of the people of the world out there today. Those of you that are watching this video now, you're going to get it. This is going to resonate with you. For the rest of everyone else, it might just be, AI is just a random text generator. It doesn't do a lot of good. Now, myself, I have a very diverse background. It comes down to always have some story about a random job that I had at some point in the past. But this has been to my great benefit through the years, even though not everyone around me has quite understood what it is that I'm talking about. And it's enabled me to this day work on some really cool AI engineering projects that are spanning the gap between capacities, skills, and teams, doing things that, quite frankly, just a couple years ago would have seemed impossible to somebody if I said, I'm going to be working on all these different things with minimal experience and background, because I'm able to see the way that it's all interconnected. And AI is going to help give me the leverage that I need to succeed tremendously with it. So what I've put together today for you is a short video that dives into this about, why is it that us nonconformist, divergent thinkers see the world differently, and how is it that it's to our advantage? Also, I'm going to provide a couple small tips about how to utilize that, the things that you can do with it. And at the end of the video, I'm going to get back to you and share a few more thoughts that I have about it. And I would love to hear your take on it as well. Because, really at the end of the day, I realize that I'm a nonconformist. I don't necessarily fit inside of any box, but I'm happy to build my own and build one for others so that they can operate inside of that system that I built. So this has a lot to do with my life, what it is that I'm doing, and I think it holds something for those of you out there who are really getting what this AI revolution is bringing as far as an opportunity. All right, let's go check it out.
Throughout the traditional educational and corporate systems, the instructions are identical. Pick a single lane, specialize deeply, and stay there. Society rewards people who can close loops and settle into a highly predictable routine. But if your brain naturally resists rigid finality, this traditional path creates constant friction. You prefer to keep loops open, exploring new ideas and questioning established processes long after everyone else has settled for certainty. From the outside, this looks like a severe lack of discipline. It looks like you are jumping from one random distraction to the next. Internally, however, your mind runs a high-speed, cross-disciplinary pattern recognition engine. By scanning across a broad spectrum of interests, you calculate estimations and see big-picture connections. You jump straight to the correct answer without having to grind through the typical step-by-step logic that others rely on. The problem is what happens next. The moment you try to act on those brilliant connections, you hit the executive function tax. Organizing, scheduling, and processing thousands of tiny administrative decisions drain your momentum completely. The modern economy was built on industrial principles that demanded repetitive, error-free execution. That environment specifically penalized minds built for wide-ranging, divergent exploration. You haven't been failing. You've simply been competing in an economic game that judges your value strictly on your administrative endurance, rather than your ability to synthesize entirely new ideas. That rigid economic structure is breaking apart. The market premium on predictable, manual execution is dropping toward zero as artificial intelligence scales. AI is designed specifically to consume the repetitive busywork. It thrives on exactly the kind of rule-following administrative tasks that human minds find exhausting. This creates a functional cognitive prosthesis for divergent thinkers. With software handling the scheduling, organizing, and micro-decisions, the executive function tax that used to paralyze your momentum is removed from the equation. When execution becomes commoditized, the market stops paying for busy work. Economic value shifts directly to the people who can identify the right problems to solve and pull together abstract concepts to create fresh approaches. Major corporate leadership is already adapting to this reality. As Alex Karp, the CEO of Palantir, stated, there are basically two ways to know you have a future: vocational training or you're neurodivergent. The automation software that specialized workers fear will replace them is actually the precise execution engine your broad, connective mind has always needed. Relying on broad, connective thinkers to drive major leaps in progress is the established historical baseline for innovation. Take Johannes Gutenberg. He worked as a metallurgist and a blacksmith, existing entirely outside the highly specialized world of literary scribes. He didn't invent the printing press by analyzing ancient texts or practicing calligraphy. He looked at the mechanical design of a heavy agricultural tool. He took the mechanics of the wooden wine press and combined them with metal casting techniques and ink formulation. By bridging completely isolated disciplines, he bypassed the manual labor of the scribes entirely. This exact pattern defined the modern tech boom. Figures like Steve Jobs won because they recognized overlapping connections between design, psychology, and hardware that deeply specialized engineers ignored. Deep specialists are required to maintain existing systems, but divergent generalists are the ones who design the next systems. And now, AI provides anyone with that connective vision the tools to actually build it. Moving forward, generic execution will not generate value. The only way to cut through the noise of an automated economy is to offer an unexpected combination of ideas. Through a divergent brain, this requires dropping a lifelong habit. You have to stop relying on discipline to force yourself down a single path. Instead, let your natural interests dictate your direction, because genuine curiosity is the neurochemical switch that activates your deep focus. Map this out by identifying 3 completely different obsessions you've explored. The goal is to locate the exact space where they overlap. This random assortment of hobbies is actually the blueprint for a highly specific niche where no one else can compete with you. To stay in this zone, enforce a strict rule of delegation. The moment a task begins to drain your energy or trigger that familiar executive function friction, hand it off to an AI assistant immediately. Finally, extract the knowledge you've accumulated from those rabbit holes and convert it into compounding output. Write out your concepts, build a small prototype, or simply record your perspective and share it. The future does not belong to the people who compress themselves into a single, predictable lane. It belongs to the multi-dimensional thinkers.
Lot to take in there, isn't there? If you're like myself, you may have found that through the years, that unconventional thinking that you have, maybe that, resume that wanders through the woods a little bit, especially in your earlier years, can sometimes kind of seem like some baggage. But it actually can be a tremendous asset to you. And, right now I'm working on some projects that as I get into them, I realize, the engineering, the considerations, the planning, the experience that's required for this is so diverse that really there's not anybody else in my community of people that I know other than myself that have the relevant experience to approach this project. Not that other people can't do it, but I guess what I'm really trying to say is that I'm finding where I fit in and where my area of core genius is, and really enjoying the benefits that the AI is giving me because I have so much leverage these days compared to where I started this journey out at. So this is my call to action to you. How are you using AI? And are you finding that it's giving you a superpower? I would love to hear from you guys out in the audience. How is this helping you stay in your area of core genius and get away from those things that you have found that really just kind of hold you back? Myself, those small, tedious tasks, they are exhausting. They're the things that suck the life out of me. And being able to delegate that so I can stay focused on the areas where, the AI doesn't necessarily do the best, and it's not the best tool for it, but I am. That has given me the kind of leverage that I've dreamt about my whole life. So no longer do I have to be held back by the fact that I don't have 15 or 20 years experience in something. I can go achieve it and get better outcomes than people around me who have more years of experience, but simply don't know how to use the latest tools. All right. Once again, my name is Luis. I'm here. I'm owner, president of Non-Conformist Inc. If you are trying to figure out how to use AI in your business, your organization, your life, looking for some tips and advice, please feel free to reach out. I'd love to help people, and I have a lot of really great examples of solutions for growing organizations that are handling high capacity environments and throughput, and I am an efficiency master. All right. Once again, thanks for watching the video. Catch you guys in the next one.